Omar, Heidi, Judy, Paulina, Jamie, Michelle, Kenneth, Jessica, Rambler. I hardly know her. Good morning, guys. Max Mormont coming on here any minute. I believe he's the owner of CrossFit Costa Mesa, although when you go to their website, all I see is his wife's name and not his name. I don't see his picture as one of the staff, so I don't know if he's still there, actually, to be honest. But we shall find out very soon. I do this thing where I disconnect the phone and reconnect it every show now. I can't tell if it's OCD shit or if it's necessary. Either way. Jake from the Isle of Man. 8 hours ahead. So for Jake, it is 3 p.m. For me, it is 7 a.m. Yash, good morning. Tyler, good morning. Alex, good morning. Oh, there he is. There's Max with a lion and an assistant helping him set up the show. Beard's in full glory. He's pulling the mic up to his face. I see him. Down there. Good morning from NorCal. Good morning. Yeah. 7 a.m. Damn. Kenneth with the ruck on. Ruck, vest, cop. You're a cop. Oh, shit. Look at that. Special guest this morning. I just saw Caleb pop on too. Everyone's getting their shit together. Wow. Hey. Good morning. Uh-oh. Coach Max. I can't hear you. I heard something first. There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Oh.
Fucked audio.
Yeah, crazy fucked audio. Like maybe the cable from that mic to wherever it's going is loose. Audrey, it's been a productive morning. Good. Oh, thanks, Donovan. Congrats to your daughter too. Donovan Winters has a I see Donovan. I don't know. Minimum 2 days a week. Usually probably 4 or 5 days a week. Our kids train at the same BJJ Academy, and our families mingle quite a bit. And his daughter kicked ass in her first tournament this week. It was actually kind of freaky. Donovan's daughter trains with my kids, like I said, and his son's one of the best. Oh, in and out, buddy.
In and out.
Yeah. Something's still wrong with the audio, like up and down. So Donovan's daughter trains with my all three of my sons, and she's right in between my oldest son and my two youngest sons. And then in class the other day, she triangled my oldest son. I had never seen anyone do that to him outside of a tournament. It was pretty crazy. So she was ready to go. She went to her first tournament. I think she won the gold, right, Donovan? I think she won 3 matches, which it's even more crazy because most of the time, your kids only get 2 matches. Anyway, that was really exciting. It elevates everyone in the academy when everyone goes to the tournaments. It's
fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. But I'm patient. Don't worry. Another crazy thing, by the way, about Donovan and his daughter is he wanted his daughter to enter a tournament for more than a year, and she was hesitant. And he was patient, and he went to a big tournament in San Jose, California. Some could argue it's the fight capital of the world. And she won a gold. Definitely California is the fight capital of the world. Damn, that San Jose, 10th biggest city in the United States. Crazy jiu-jitsu tournaments there. Crazy.
You guys are
still fucked up. But look at people are still sending in money. That doesn't matter. Take your time. They just like looking at you. $10 for
that's what I like to
lion. Throw you. Save your money. Don't send it to Max's OnlyFans today. We will be collecting here for him on the Sevan Podcast. While we hi Caleb. What's up?
Good morning.
What are you doing here?
Okay.
It's a government holiday, Sevan.
Is it really?
It is.
Yes, it is.
How do I not know this shit? Please don't tell me it's something like Veterans Day. I fucked up or something. What is it?
No. It's a new government holiday, my friend. It is called.
Is this
called
for Pride
Juneteenth.
Month?
Juneteenth.
Oh geez.
Yeah.
Oh geez.
So we get the day off.
I'll have to do my research. God, I hope nothing's closed today that I'm doing. I hope nothing. Tennis and jiu-jitsu better be wide open.
Just pretty much everything is open. Everything else is open, except for the government. The government is closed.
All right. We got a new CDC director. What's her name? Mandy. You know what's funny? What I did too is before I did any research on her, I typed in her husband's name because I want to see her husband. If a chick's married to just a dude who just comes off as beta to me, I fuck her. It's sorry, just for a quick judgment. You know what I mean? Not what kind of car you drive, not what color skin you are, not whether you go to church on Sundays. Let me see your husband. Let me see your husband. And then her husband actually, he looked like he's fucking got some fucking titties on him. Looked like he does push-ups and shit. He looks strong. But, my first.
About him that says fucking houses on it.
I need to check that, dude. Your audio is so fucking bad. You are so lucky that you're fun to look at. Can you just unplug it and go straight to your computer?
Yeah.
You'll go to the settings in StreamYard. You see that little gear down there?
Yep.
And then click on that and then go to the audio button. I know you're pissed too because obviously you have a podcast studio and you're like, fuck, I got all this fancy shit. How come it's not working? And then you go to the mic and then switch the mic.
With problems. What do you?
Go to the mic and then in the drop-down menu, pick anything other than what you're using. Like maybe there's one that says Mac or something. Maybe there's one that says your mom. It should say Rode mic, your mom, and Mac. Be like, I'll use the Mac.
Jump back out, jump back in, see what happens.
Oh, look, you got an assistant even. Hang up? I wouldn't mean hang up. He's the main guest. I can't hang up on him. What are you talking about, David? This new CDC director. So then the next thing I do after I check on her husband and see that he's kind of broad shoulders, looks like he works out a little bit. I looked at I typed in her name and then I typed in 49ers, right? See if she's a 49er fan. And the first thing is that not only is she a huge 49er fan, but she was one of the first people to get her kids the injection. That right away makes me hate her. Yeah, right there. Thank you, Caleb. So she brought in, speaking of Juneteenth, one of the first articles you bring up is she appointed someone in her group just based on the fact of the color of her skin. So he picked a black woman to be her cohort. And that black woman, her kid was one of the 3,000 kids who was first in the trials. Oh, nice echo. That's definitely Max. Hey, can you imagine using your kid in a trial, a Pfizer trial? Oh, this makes me sound like God with this echo. I imagine God talks in double talk like that. Double echo. Sevan. No show has ever started quite like this, and I like that. Eaton Beaver, Sevan, the IT guy, when he was at HQ, he would have needed 5 people to help him. Oh, what? No. What are you talking about? Oh, I think I heard you set your coffee cup down. Are you all good, Max?
Maybe.
Nope. Your ass. Your ass. Hey, it's a loose cable. It's a loose cable or something. Audrey, Pedro from Coffee Pods and Wads called you the Lord of Podcasting. I like that. That works. What would that make Caleb?
The jester.
The jester of podcasting. What would that make Max, our guest today? He's an evil force trying to bring down the show. That's high ratings. Did you see that show yesterday I did with Are you still working on it, Max?
Yeah, I'm still working on it. Listen now.
No, bad.
Kick me out really long. Kick me out, all back in.
Kick you out and then we'll kick you out and then you come back in. Hi, Caleb. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Dude, 2 years ago I'd be in a fucking sheer panic. I'm so inspired by that show yesterday that I did with Tyler James and John Young. Man, John Young's a shit. And James Townsend and who was the other one I said? John Young, James Townsend, and Tyler Watkins. I want to do just a weekly show at night. I want to do a night show. What do you think about Sunday nights?
That'd be cool.
Instead of love lines, we talk about game shit, just anything. And I was
Way
thinking
better
about,
than Mormont.
like it would be I would have 2 regulars, like me and Bill Grunler, if he can do it, and then just 2 people rotating in. So it could be Brian Friend, Brian Spin, John Young, whoever, James Townsend, Tyler Watkins, Mike Halpin, just whoever, just people rotating in.
That'd be dope.
Sevi, did you have a think about what Trish posed to you on Friday? Is it a nude in my DMs? Posed to me. Posted? I don't know. I don't know what that means. Manny Spiegel. Sevi is replacing Be Friendly. It's an interesting observation. I don't know if I wouldn't say it's accurate.
Just adding to the stables.
I wouldn't say it's accurate. Saber, we missed the real Brian JR Taylor on the show. Oh yeah. And Taylor and JR will definitely be. Everyone's invited. Everyone's invited. Ken Walters, is Be Friendly slowly slipping from the podcast after forever. Everyone is slowly slipping away forever. Everyone, even. I wonder if I have more days ahead of me than behind me. Do you think you have more days ahead of you or behind you with the podcast, Caleb?
Ahead of me.
Oh, good. Audrey, don't replace Brian Friend just yet. John doesn't even know half the answers. It's okay. No one knows half the answers. No one's replacing anyone. There's no one's replacing anyone. There's never a it's not like that. The whole space is just really dynamic, right? There's like 3 people who hold down the fort here, me, Souza, and Mr. Beaver. And then everyone else is just rotating in and out based on other opportunities and obligations they have. So today, Kayla was relieved of some other obligations, so we get them. It's really just like that. Okay, let me see. Yeah, so I like the show. I like the idea of a show that's just every week and it's just about the games.
Me too.
Anything about the games. Anything. And when people would be calling in, lots of people calling in, like fighting. Hopefully, like fighting with John. Like people like Audrey, like could call in and be like, "Dude, John, you're not even half as good as Brian. Why do you think you're so? What the fuck are you doing on here so much?" And then he would fight back, and we would all fight with him. Like an AM radio show. Uh-oh. Sorry, Caleb.
You're good.
Yeah. Brian did great with that. Oh, Brian was on a semifinal podcast with Chase recently. There you go. Oh, and Bill. No, Max. I'm sorry, buddy.
You could really just use the computer mic and it'd be okay.
Yeah, did you try using the computer?
It worked just fine when you had it on.
You guys want to see something funny? I can only show you this. I'll give this to Caleb. I can actually Caleb, I'm sending you something in the private chat. I can only show you this, guys, in 7-second increments what I'm about to show you. I don't know if I've ever showed this have we ever put this on the show before?
A long time ago.
Okay. Blade, Sevan is giving tree of podcast. Sevan is the giving tree of podcast. Well, thank you. Oh, we're getting Blade scheduled here really soon. He helps make motherfuckers big and doesn't take it personal when they get cool. Yeah, thank you. That is exactly it. That's part of it. That's one branch. I think that would be the better way. That's funny. How you've picked that up, Mr. Walker. Okay. That is on the ground there is Max Mormont, today's guest, which I have a feeling is not going to happen. Oh, I can tell Max we can reschedule too. Let me call Max right now. Where's my phone? Let me see here. Sorry guys. Let me see Max. Let me call Max real quick. And then I'll show you that video. And then when he comes back on, I'll show the video again.
Hello, this is Max. Sorry, I'm here to get your call.
Max. We can reschedule too. Not a big deal. at all. Sevan's echo sounded perfect. He was on Coffee Pods and Wads too. Oh, yeah. Are you talking about Brian? Dude, he's everywhere right now. He's everywhere. Well, except here. Yeah, that's a prepubescent Sevan. Okay, back to yes. And that's when I used to wear sleeveless shit. I'd been doing CrossFit there for probably a year and a half. There's this weird muscle that men get in their triceps, and I never had that muscle in my tricep. You can't get it from tricep extensions. For some reason, I got it from doing deadlifts. Or maybe it's, I don't know, some muscle in my arm, and I just started getting it, and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to start wearing sleeveless shirts. And what? Shut up, Caleb. So what?
That was the catalyst to wear sleeveless shirts?
Yeah. And I started wearing sleeveless shirts, and I was filming full time for CrossFit. Anyway, I can't remember where this is. I don't know if this is Brian McKenzie's gym or John Wellborn's gym, but Max trained with both of them. Maybe he was with both of their coaches too. I can't remember. But here, we'll play this in 7 seconds. Max said, curl up in a ball around my arm. I'll do a Turkish get up with you. That's a great still shot of Max with his just cock pointed right at us. And remember, we can only show this in 7 seconds. CrossFit would love to fucking ass pound me. Carrie Peterson filmed this, by the way. Sevan, how much did you weigh back then? I don't remember, but I think I lied to him about my weight. I was probably 20 pounds lighter, 15 pounds lighter than I am now. I probably told him I was 150, but I was probably 155. Look at it. That's crazy. That's a solid 125 asshole, Mason. God damn it. Not dead. I never weighed 125. Never in my life. The first time I got on a scale, I probably weighed 145. That's crazy, though. I was so afraid his arm was going to snap off. Did you play that in 7-second increments?
No, my cat was trying to bite my headphones off.
So you just got us a strike because your cat. Sevan, why did the show get pulled down for a week? Oh, because Caleb's cat needed to be pet.
It was less than 7 seconds.
Oh, good. Kenneth Walters looks like the strong man in the midget act at the circus. That's pretty intimate right there, too, to do with the strange man. I mean, that's the first day I ever met him.
Ever?
Yeah, first time I'd ever met him ever. That's the impression I didn't think of it like this. I'm not going to like this next statement. That's the impression I leave with people. They see me and I just look like a little bite-sized human. So they're like, oh, can I do a Turkish get up with you? Another grown-ass man. Can I throw you over this wall? When you get to the other side, unlock the door. Whatever happened to Christian Lucero? Fair question. When we have Max on the show, we can ask. I heard I heard he became a Navy SEAL or something.
He did. Because I was trying to find out about that a while back. And then I dove into his wife's Instagram, and then I kind of surmised a few things.
Oh, is he in the military?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Someone on our thread just asked, why is it called the GHD? It's like
Glute Hand Developer. Come on, man.
I know. Even I knew that. I don't want to say who it is. Sevi looks so tiny. I do look tiny there. He's huge. Max is huge. You have to understand that. I'm not that tiny. All right. So that was the CDC director, Mandy. I don't know if she has to be approved or anything by the Senate or Congress or some committee, but I know that she's going to be replacing Walensky. I know she's incredibly pro 49ers. She gave it to her kids. She had no problem with Pfizer doing a trial on 3,000 kids, which is just nuts. 140. I will tell you this, my partner at CrossFit at the time, his name was Carrie Peterson. We did everything together. And Lauren and Greg, the owners of CrossFit, referred to it as Sevan and his good-looking friend. Or there would be me, or they would always call it the good-looking guy, the good-looking one. That always kind of stung a little bit. There was a strong insinuation that I was not nice to look at. No, I was never dumped in a trash can as a freshman, but I appreciate you asking, dick. That's like asking one of those questions that like, it's not even a question. You know what I mean? It's a statement in the question.
You were dumped in the trash can?
No, I was not. but they're just gonna make that assumption. Look, there he is. Oh shit! Wow, fancy. I don't know if we're allowed to show that shot. It's them naked. Do you see it down there?
Yeah, I think I see his cock and balls again.
Wow, it is. The camera is pointed down. I did not get a swirly. I did not get a swirly. You know what a swirly is, Caleb?
Yeah. You get your head dunked in the toilet and they just flush the toilet on your head.
Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, rhetorical question. Thanks, Sonny. Thanks for the fucking grammar lesson, syntax lesson. I know how the English language works. What's up, Max? Can't hear you.
Oh, he's muted himself.
Oh, that would be awesome if that's the only problem.
Yeah, I think. We'll see.
You're good.
Always humbled by electronics.
That is good. I like that. I like this shot.
Yeah, I'm fucking ready to break shit.
Hey, can you bring the mic close to your mouth?
Yeah, I'll put my thing next to your mouth.
Thank you. I always love your thing next to mine. What's up, dude?
Just fucking excited to be here with you, brother.
Where are you right now?
I am actually at CrossFit Costa Mesa in our gym. I would call it a podcast, but the fact that it took a shit so bad, I don't know what the fuck it is at this point.
Well, you sound really good now. Everything's working. Hey, when I go to the coach's page, I see a picture of your wife, but I don't see a picture of you.
You're welcome.
Okay, fine. That's cool. Is that on purpose? Is that are you the owner and like you think it's you shouldn't put yourself front and center? Like you should glorify the other?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I don't actually coach as much as I used to. Okay. I'm not a primary coach. I'm not the face of the gym. You know, these kids are holding it down more than anything else. We had a remnants of 250 go down all the way down to 35 members. And then we were like fucking hobos during COVID going to multiple locations. We lost our spot.
Wait a sec. Oh shit. You lost your location and 215 members during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, it was. You were damned if you do, and you were damned if you don't. At one point, I just told everybody, "Get the fuck out of here. You follow me if you want to, and you don't. You don't."
I'm surprised you didn't go to jail.
I've battled the cities for a year and a half just to get a permit for the gym.
On its inception.
Yeah, when we try to go back in.
What year did you originally open the gym?
They opened CrossFit Costa Mesa in 2009. Wow. I was with CrossFit Balboa in 2007, 2008 before John did some shady shit. And then
that's when I met you.
Yeah. And then I was with CrossFit around 2005, 2004, 2006, somewhere around there.
That video of you doing the Turkish get up with me, what gym is that?
That would be CrossFit Balboa. Or maybe it was actually CrossFit Newport Beach. Yeah. With Mackenzie.
Mackenzie, because CrossFit Balboa wasn't even really it was just under his house, right?
Yeah, it was in the cannery lofts. Yeah,
that's in that must be Mackenzie's gym then.
CrossFit Newport.
Wow, crazy old. That's fucking long time ago.
Yeah,
and what the fuck are those people doing in the background there? What are they doing? Are they even doing CrossFit?
I think they're personal training. I don't know. Not my responsibility.
Wow. Oh, look at this. CrossFit Balboa was the first place I was ever charged a drop-in fee. That gym's not around anymore, is it?
I think it is. I think
in the same location?
No, not in the same location. I think Ben Oliver owns it. And I tried to acquire it from him at some point, but he didn't. There was rumors that he wanted to sell it, and so I showed back up and was like, "Hey, I'll take this fucking thing back."
CrossFit Balboa.
Yeah, I was gonna buy it back. It was my original gym that I started. Absolutely.
You started CrossFit Balboa?
Yeah, I fucking trained John. There was some shenanigans with him and fucking Mackenzie. John was trying to get back to Baltimore. I was helping him out, getting him ready before he went back and got cut. And we got approached. I got approached by CrossFit to start talking with him when I was up at Santa Cruz. And then we came home and I was like, nah, fuck that shit. I don't want to mess around with these guys. And then more and more, Mackenzie was kind of blowing him off and they were kind of trying to figure it out. And then I started coaching him. And then he developed CrossFit football through us going to see Rip and another guy named, I can't think of his name, poor guy. There was a speed and agility guy that we used as well. And we just developed the program from there. But that was 2 years, and then 2 years of me really not getting paid. And then in the process, we were going to develop. This is actually pretty badass. So this is before the actual CrossFit Games is in StubHub, and they're going to develop a online, and they're going to do this shit and fucking at the StubHub Center. And we were talking to Under Armour in regards to developing a CrossFit Combine, where Joe Schmo would come out and we would be able to get a non-professional man to get to the NFL. And that was the concept behind that.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of money showed up and then shit got weird.
Oh, yeah, that can happen. So just to kind of go back for a second, this is really old school shit they're talking about. John Wellborn was in the movie Every Second Counts. He was a football player in the NFL. I don't remember. He played for a long fucking time. He was a good dude. He was on the line. A giant. He was good at football. He's a giant dude and really good at football. And so he opened a gym called CrossFit Balboa. He ended up being in the movie Every Second Counts. We opened a gym. Sorry, Max and him opened a gym. And that's how originally I met Max, I believe, right?
Absolutely. Actually, we probably met at Santa Cruz when I was going up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was when I met more Tony Budding and those guys.
And there was the community was really small back then. There was like Max, John, Brian McKenzie, obviously the Glassmans, Steve Serrano was down there too, right? The cop dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was really a tight group. And what Max was saying is that he was working with John and Mackenzie was working with John. I think Kelly Starrett was probably in the mix somewhere there too.
Even Lauren Cordain was hanging out with us every once in a while.
No shit. The lady who's fucking all over IG and the fucking jumbo.
No, the dude with the paleo diet.
Oh, you know who I was thinking?
I don't hang out with chicks, bro. So
you know I'm talking about the chick with the Cordains, the woman and the man. They got the real estate empire. They got the big 747. Yes. Fucking that's what you're talking about. Anyway, and shit was growing very fast back then, and so that's what some of that stuff Max was talking about was in that space. And I didn't know that. I didn't know John was trying to go back to the NFL, or if I did, I'd forgotten to get.
Well, he was trying to go for I think his 10th or his 11th year, and then in the mix of it all, we were.
I do remember that.
Yeah. He had a good chance.
Patriots or something.
Yeah, Patriots. I think even Baltimore at one time. Yeah, he had a good opportunity there at the end. He was good and old, so he did well.
I didn't. I don't think I asked Max to do that to me. I think Max just called me over and said, "Hey, grab my arm." I need to hear how Sevan asked him to use him for a Turkish getup. It
started with John talking shit. So one big thing with the football players is obviously I wasn't a football player, but I was pretty fucking strong. And I would always teach them how to recover and stay longer, longer inside the league. Most of the guys that I got were in that like 8th, 10th year or 5th year to acquire longevity in the NFL. And so we were talking about shoulder strength and the ability to do that. And then in the process, John said, "Hey, do you think you can actually Turkish get up him?" And then I asked you your weight. And I think you were like a smooth 152.
I think I lied to you also. I think I told you I think I was 5 pounds more than I really was.
Like a well-muscled woman.
Yeah, I was probably 157. I told you 152. I didn't want anyone to know.
I mean, that's a full-on fight. At 155, you meet a girl that's 175. That's a full-on fight.
Me and her can go toe-to-toe.
You're going to have to close your hand, man. Any judgment you get online, well, fuck it. That's you're going to have a choice. I mean, Gabby Garcia walked into my gym one time and she trained out of here for a while. And she's such a big fucking girl that she shadowed the door and I wasn't fucking around. I got scared. For sure.
Do you have a lot of fighters at your gym?
No, not anymore. No, I mean, I helped Vitor Belfort. I helped out the Ruka guys. the Brazilian jiu-jitsu team. Yeah, shit like that for a while.
Did you have was Cyborg training there?
No.
No.
She's over, I think, at another CrossFit gym or Chalk or some shit. She was fucking around with the neighborhood. Yeah.
Who? How close are you to Chalk? Is Chalk a CrossFit gym?
Not anymore. No,
Oh,
I'm pretty close. They're down in the other side of Costa Mesa, on the other side of the tracks.
It's crazy because how far are you from Newport Beach?
A couple miles, from the beach itself. Yeah.
I've been going down there 2 or 3 times a year. I need to visit you.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah. And you have kids, right? You have a kid?
Yeah, I got 2.
How old are they?
I got one that's 7 and the other one is almost 4. He'll turn 4 in August. The 4-year-old is piss and vinegar, and the older guy is pretty athletic, pretty good mover.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what do they do during the day?
I throw them into school, Sevan. I like using the government.
You're not afraid of that, Max? You're not afraid of that? You're not afraid of that?
I'm very good at framing my children and understanding that I'm in charge and that they come back and tell me what the fuck they learned, and I'll come in hot and heavy whenever I have to. I'm not scared of it. Also,
Trish, this man is 99.9% Neanderthal. They're not talking about me or Caleb.
Fact.
Max.
Fact. Whoever posted that, that's a fact. You're welcome. Thank you for that.
Meaning, you keep a close eye. You're heavily involved in their schooling. If some shit gets weird at school, you march down to the principal's office and have a little word with them. Absolutely.
My wife is in there. I'm in there. Yeah, we're like the PTA parents that never existed.
Do you remember the last time you were down there?
Yeah, just the other day.
And what did you have?
Had like a festival thing, and so we were in there hanging out.
Oh, okay.
At the festival thing.
Okay, and you don't miss any opportunity to go down there. You go down.
Yeah, and my wife's in there like twice a week teaching like language and checking off like sight words and all that bullshit.
Oh yeah, sight words.
Yeah, but we also do at home. My mom is fluent in Spanish. My mom watches them twice a week. She's actually an educator as well. So they hang out with her almost like 8 hours a week, and she speaks to them in Spanish. I am bilingual, first generation American. So,
no shit. Yeah, what are you? You don't look Mexican.
Argentino. Somos Argentino.
Shit! Wow.
Yeah.
Your mom was born in
my mom and my dad were born in Argentina, and they met here in the States. And luckily, they have a beautiful story on how they got here, both of them separately, but they met here, and then they've been married 47 years.
Did they meet in the church?
Fuck no.
How did 2 Argentinians meet? That's crazy.
Argentinian contention. One met that came for the cousin, and then the best friend kind of introduced them.
Wow, crazy. And they both speak Spanish. Was Spanish your first language?
No, actually English was, but then we went back to Argentina when I was 3 years old, and then I kind of forgot English and then learned Spanish, and I'm heavy dyslexic. Like I'm fucking like I can't figure out how to spell any of the theirs. So, but I can spell supercompensation and weird shit like that, but I can't spell, and mostly everything I spell is phonetically. And some of it is, they say it's because I learned Spanish real young, and it really is that I'm just fucking dyslexic. If you're gonna give me a label, I got a learning disability, if you will.
Yeah. How long were you in Argentina when you went down there when you were 3?
3 months. 3 months.
Oh wow! And that was just fucking hardcore Spanish immersive.
Yeah. Dive in deep. And then even when I went back when I was 5, supposedly I didn't want to really speak Spanish because I was scared to lose English again.
Kenneth Delap, Sevan is getting an HUHE testosterone contact high from having Max on the show. I don't know what HUHE is, but the rest of the shit I agree with. I'm definitely getting testosterone high. I feel some is.
Yeah, there's a lot of testosterone that flows inside the family and inside the household for sure with all the boys. That's.
How old are you, Max?
I am 44. I turned 45 this year. I technically can compete again as a 45-year-old masters for weightlifting.
Oh, are you competing in weightlifting?
Thinking about it. I haven't competed since my 36 years when I won that silver medal in Copenhagen as a masters. I'm going to drop that right there. Little plug.
Silver medal in what organization?
Masters USA W, but I represented us in the IWF because that's what they do. They don't have anything else besides.
So International Weightlifting Federation. So it's a world. Is that the highest level that you can compete at?
As an old man, yeah. You're pretty.
And you
much,
won a silver medal in that at 35.
Yeah, I cut all the way down to the 94 kilos right before they actually changed the weight classes.
Wow, no shit. Okay, let's go back a little bit. So, Argentinian parents, do you have siblings?
I do. I have one fucking brother that hasn't talked to my dad. It's fucked up. Hasn't talked to his father in 5+ years.
He's got to fix that. He's got to fix that.
Well, he won't ever again. My dad lost his hearing last year.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
He completely lost his hearing?
Yeah, lost his hearing. He's 87 years old and just popped. He always had bad hearing.
Hey, why did they stop talking?
You know, my brother was one of those guys that constantly has that victim mentality and pulls himself out and then comes back in, pulls himself out. He ran away from home at 18 and then came back. He struggles with my mom's his half mom, and he struggles with the fact that his real mom doesn't love him, but this other lady does. You know, that kind of story, which is a lot of what I'm doing now with men having baggage from the past or even now in their life and being able to give them an opportunity to move forward.
That's the Warrior Week thing.
Yeah. A lot of alpha men hanging out doing some alpha shit.
And that's the guy. What's the guy's name who runs that? The Reverend of Truth. What's his name?
Oh yeah, my man. Yeah. Sam Falsafi.
Yeah. I'll put it in the. I put it the link in the private chat. Is that the guy? Is that the owner of Warrior Week?
He is now. Yes. It all started with Garrett J. White, which is interesting because they've all been influenced by CrossFit, whether they want to admit it or not. They've all been influenced. Garrett J. White actually worked out down at Ethos under Jimmy Letchford for a while before he really got into heavy Warrior Week. And then
is Garrett J. White the guy who has like the hot wife and like the pompadora, and he's like the white guy? He's like he's like he kind of reminds me of the lions not sheep or sheep not lions guy.
Yeah. He even went through Garrett's program too.
The lions not sheep guy did.
Yeah. They all ripped it off from these guys. Yeah, these guys have been doing this for 10+ years. Everything you're seeing online right now has been taken from the Wake Up Warrior and Warrior Week movement that started 10+ years ago.
Sorry, guys. I know this show's all over the place. I've given up though on keeping you guys in the loop here. Hold on a second. So,
what do you need? Let's get it. Let's go back to the kids and the family.
Okay, but we got to come back to this Warrior Week. That's fascinating. So there's drama there. In the whole Warrior Week.
There's drama everywhere. There's drama. Business, isn't there drama? Business. Can I ask the same for you? I mean, isn't there drama there too?
Well, I've really tightened there is, but I've really tightened my loop down. And since I had kids, my shit's gotten like, I'm a fucking van driver. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm fucking good at it. Yeah. Van's a little dirty, but I'm good at it.
Yeah. I don't fuck around. I'm here for one reason only, to pass it on to my kids.
What do you drive?
I drive a Lesbro. I drive a Subaru.
Lesbro.
Can I say that online?
Oh, for sure. Well,
you're okay with that?
One of my lesbian friends the other day was telling me that lesbians drive Jeep. She says, "Oh God," she's like, "I'm so fucking textbook lesbian." I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, and she told me all the things, and one of the things is she said she drives a Jeep. I'm like, "Really? They drive?" So lesbians like Subarus.
The same thing.
Subarus and Jeeps.
Yes.
How about dudes who drive Subarus? Can we judge them, categorize them?
That's a good question.
But you're one of them. Whatever they are, you're one of them.
Yeah. I don't think I fit the type, but I do now.
Look at Audrey's claiming she's not a lesbian. Let me tell you something, Audrey.
Thanks, Audrey. I got your back.
Let me tell you. You're an outlier then. Okay. So parents are still married. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
And how long have you been married?
I've been married 10 years, but we've been together for 17.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. I told her that I wouldn't marry her until I was retired from weightlifting. Poor girl.
That really is a crowning achievement to be with one person for 17 years.
Yes and no, because, I was on the opposite spectrum of treating her like shit because I felt like I was owed something special because I wasn't a guy that had cheated on her. I wasn't a guy that had been running around and fucking other women. And so that gave me like a card, if you will, to be like, well, I deserve more. I deserve more. And there was a process inside there that created a lot of chaos, just like all of us in our relationships.
Oh, I don't cheat on you, so it gives me leeway to be a dick elsewhere.
Yeah, or not listen, not hold space for you, not listen to your feelings.
Wow, not hold space. Look at you.
I hate that fucking word. I hate that.
I knew you would
understand
deep though.
that.
It's pretty important. I like it. Holding space for women is important, especially.
Absolutely. I would rather use the word intent listening.
Okay.
That's like the bullshit that you're hearing now with vulnerability. People talk about vulnerability. Fuck your vulnerability. Really, right. Vulnerability comes down to your ability to write shit down and give it to somebody. So, well, you're only vulnerable to as much as you want to share. There's only one person that knows your true vulnerability.
In that same family of words, the ones I'm not a huge fan of is boundaries.
Yeah,
boundaries. Like as soon as I hear someone has boundaries, I'm like, you have mental illness too.
What? Why does boundaries trigger you?
It's like full steam ahead, motherfucker. Full steam ahead. That you have too much. You have boundaries because you have fucking ego. Like full steam ahead. Like just jump right in. But I mean, there's a place for boundaries. Like I get it, but just the word. When I hear all the people I know who use the word, I have boundaries. You've broken my boundaries. So and so broke my boundaries. I'm like, you fucking need to fucking C3 shrinks and fucking get on the pharmaceuticals.
There's a misunderstanding of how to say yes and no for sure. For sure.
Yeah. How about that? Just learn how to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah. And that was huge for me, learning to say no. I didn't know how to say no until, I don't know. I did credit Dave Castro teaching me that in my 40s, late 40s.
He definitely knows how to say yes and no, and which is funny because people will call him a dick because of it. And yet, he's just, again, good at his boundaries, if you will, for sure.
And people respect you for that too. When you know how to say no, you think that they won't like you, but in the long run, they actually respect you. They start to respect you.
Absolutely. And you don't build resentment from it, right? When you say yes and you go do something you don't want to do, then you build resentment, and then later that builds into something else.
Right. My favorite one is can I borrow your car? Can I borrow your truck to move some shit? No. Cannot. Well, why not? Because I don't lend my shit out.
Yeah. No.
Leave a deposit of a briefcase full of $20,000 cash, and you can just have my truck. You can just have
fuck it. That. We loaned out the van one time and some asshole put gasoline in it and it's diesel. So you can only imagine what the process was there.
Yeah. What do I do? Just when the friendship's over because I lent you the car now? Oh, thank you. I'd rather keep you as a friend. And you just think I'm an asshole who doesn't want to share my car.
That's the best way to do it.
So you're raised where are you? And so when you come back from Argentina as a 4-year-old boy, you're in Los Angeles?
Yeah, born and raised in Anaheim, California, basically.
Wow. Okay.
So I was here up until my 17th year, and then I graduated from high school a little early. And then after that, I went up to Central Washington University, Ellensburg, Washington, and I worked with 5 chimpanzees that knew American Sign Language. And I was there for about 3.5 years.
That's true? You're not fucking around?
No.
A chimpanzee sign language program up in Washington State?
Yeah, I was an intern there, yes.
Wow, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, you can totally use the word lesbo if you spent 5 years in Washington. You get
met Jane Goodall. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What were you doing up there with? That was like your focus.
Yeah, I went to school for religious studies and experimental psychology.
No shit.
Yeah.
And so, you were a religious studies major by choice?
Well, no, I actually went there specifically for experimental psychology and poli-sci, and I wanted to do campaign management bullshit. And then I rolled down a hill 278 yards. 2 of us lived and 2 of us died. And then that turned me into the quest for God. That changed me to find out what's this religion all about and why the fuck did I live?
Can I hear this story? The 2 rolling down 278 feet. Tell me this story.
Yeah, the only reason why I know specifically still that number was because the cop, when I told him that I rolled about 300 yards, he was like, "No, you'd be dead." And I was like, "Yeah." I ran, I stopped, and I ran, and we were at the top of the hill. And the next day, he called me personally and was like, "Hey, Mr. Mormont, you were right. You did roll about 300 yards. It was actually 278. We were leaving a party. It was my birthday, like literally midnight of my birthday, 18th year. And we were leaving like after school special style. And we had an extra kid in the car, and the driver started driving like shit to kind of get him out. And he got out.
And you guys are drunk? You guys are drunk?
He had been drinking a little bit. Yeah, he had been drinking a little bit. But that, I mean, he was a shitty ass driver, because later when I talked to his brother, I went to go see his brother immediately was like, "Oh fuck, he finally rolled." And so that was,
what kind of car?
It was like it was some type of hatchback.
Okay.
Some type of hatchback. Collapsed as it was rolling. You know, it was fucking rolling oblong.
Why did it roll down a cliff? Down a.
Yeah, he was making a left-hand bank. So we got the other kid out, and I looked at him like, "Hey man, are you driving like shit? What's the deal?" And he like winked at me like, "I'm just trying to get this other guy out." So then we drove a couple more turns, and then fucking right off the cliff, caught the back end of the wheel off the road, lifted the car up, and then it just started rolling oblong. And
4 boys in the car?
4 boys in the car. 2 of us were wearing seatbelt. 2 of us were not wearing seatbelt. And it was 50-50 across the board. 1 kid with a seatbelt died. 1 kid without a seatbelt died.
Oh shit! People died, Max.
Oh yeah, 1 kid got shot out the back. Pat got shot out the back, and he hit his head on a rock, or got hit. And then Phil, as he was driving, his head hit a rock. He was holding onto the steering wheel, and he hit his head, and then he bled out on my leg. Hey,
did that roll seem like it went on forever?
Yeah, so much so that I fucking prayed and was like, "Hey, God, just make this stop." And it actually got stopped by a boulder. We actually rolled on the bottom of the frame, got stuck to a boulder before we were almost into a ravine of water, which probably would have took us all out.
How many times do you think the car rolled?
Fuck, I don't know, man. A lot. So much so that I remember closing my eyes. I had a concussion from the top of my head hitting my head, and grabbing the oh shit bar on the side of the car, and the rocks hitting. Because I had heard stories of, hey, if you're off-roading, if your hands and limbs go outside the window, you're going to lose shit. And the window was compressed by the time we got out. And then I jumped out, tore my pants, and then I got the other kid. The other kid had the best ride because he had no seatbelt on, but he grabbed the bottom of the seat, and then just hunkered down, never hit the top of the roof. Ryan.
Hey, so you're that's 22 years ago. Is that still fresh in your head? Like change your life kind of shit? Like
yeah, it moved me to start to look into now I realize why that happened, because it moved me to really investigate God inside of my life. And then it also triggered me to question, why I survived. So then I started selling fucking marijuana, traveling the whole West Coast in my Volkswagen microbus, creating a muck, really, really selling a lot of fucking weed.
After that?
Oh yeah. So, I got $12,000 cash. I started growing in Seattle. I started creating a fucking muck and getting shot at, stealing shit. I was like, I questioned.
What year was that? So it was still illegal.
Oh yeah. It was illegal. Up until that was very similar. I didn't have a nice Windows one, but
God, something like that now is like $100,000. Have you seen?
I know that? I don't regret a lot, Sevan. And one thing I do regret is selling that Volkswagen microbus.
Like literally, you can go online and find these buses with no engine, completely rusted out, barely even a car, and it's like $56,000. No wheels, no nothing. Just if you just want like a rusted out piece of shit with no engine in it.
Mine was pretty tits. It had some rusting on the bottom, but it was nice. It was nice for an older car.
So let me see if I can paint this story a little bit. Accident rocked you. 2 guys died. I'm guessing you didn't process that. You just immediately took your money and used that energy and started a small business, basically. And your business was going to be to grow marijuana and sell it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I did that for a long while too. And it was a good business. Were you growing indoors?
Indoors, hydroponic, yeah. In an era that didn't exist, right? Like it kind of did, but it wasn't at the level, especially in industrial spaces, to really increase the ability to produce. Yeah, fuck yeah.
And then shit got shady when you started dealing like in pounds and pounds of weed. Shit got shady, and you started associating with unsavory characters, people who were willing to shoot at you because a pound is they bought 5 pounds and they claim you only gave them 4 and shit like that. Weird shit.
I got a buddy actually that got stabbed for just like a 1/4 pound of weed because they knew he always carried a backpack. And so then it created this kind of like tug of war bullshit that starts happening in that world of like, you fuck me, I fuck you. And then it just keeps escalating until someone actually decides to fucking get killed or go down that road. I remember talking to a counselor in regards to this, and I said, I never killed anybody. And she was like, well, that's your justification? I was like, yeah, because I could have. And I'm blessed that I never did that.
Man, that would be horrible.
Never did that. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but do you remember in 2007 at the original CrossFit Diablo, Craig Howard's gym, one of his coaches was selling weed and got stabbed and killed for do you remember that?
Yeah.
For a marijuana sale that went sideways, something that you can just go in the store, any store in now and buy.
I almost got a fucking felony for 2 pounds of marijuana, which I would have lost all my rights. And now I would have been asking the governor, hey man, this is legal now. I need to be pardoned for this shit, like full prohibition shit.
Fucking nuts. Okay, so you're in that, and do you get out of that? So you're doing that and doing the Jane Goodall shit at the same time?
I'm traveling to colleges to sell weed, and I'm up there until 1999, and then it starts escalating too aggressively in early end of 1999, coming into 2000. So then I decided to come home to Anaheim, California, and leave it all behind. So I sold it out. I sold my business to some friends out there, and then came home and then moved completely away from it.
What does that look like to sell an illegal business?
Well, I was blessed. I had some mentors in this process that were really good guys, which is weird inside that business, right? To find homies like that. And there was 4 of us that like fucking ran together and grew together. And so I just cut my shares out and said, hey man, if you guys want this, because the way we operated is that if you didn't have contact with us within 2 weeks, we wouldn't talk to you anymore. So you lost everything.
Oh, okay.
So, you had to be in close
proximity. There were some rules
with each other. Yeah.
So basically they, when you say you sold the business, meaning the equipment, maybe a lease to a location,
my book of knowledge. Yeah. My book of knowledge, as well as my contacts.
Do you miss growing? Do you grow anything now? Do you grow like fruit trees and do you grow anything? Do you have a flower bed or anything in your house?
No, actually I don't at all. I killed it all. I do miss it. I do miss it. My dad grows really awesome roses, and then he knows how to like cross plant them, and then also to like make different colors. Like we can make roses with like rings on them, and different petal colors and all that kind of shit. And my dad's a really good green thumb, and I would ask my dad questions. And at one point when he found out that I was doing it, he was just like, Maxie, just ask me how to grow marijuana. Maxie. Stop beating around the bush, asshole. Just tell me what you know. I came down here and just like any kid that thinks they're going to get out of something, they really don't. And so I got sucked right back into it. I had a buddy that got fucking robbed. And so I went and collected on what he got robbed, took it back to him and said, hey man, if you need help to protect your shit, let me know. That's what I do. So then I got right back into it, just like that, just like an addict. You get addicted to the money, you get addicted to the lifestyle, you get addicted to the process. And it wasn't like I was like you, I was a guy that liked to stay in the van. I didn't really it wasn't flashy. I didn't spend a lot of money. I saved, I did really well. But then at some point I had to realize that there's not a lot of retired drug dealers. And so you have to move forward. Yeah.
It kind of has the same injury, death, or jail, or kind of end up being the outcomes. Oh, and then finally they made it, they legalized it and it became so fucking competitive. It just put everyone out of business anyway.
Well, the good thing here, what I did in Southern California was I made safety deposit boxes. So you couldn't really deposit it into the bank. And so we just made little banks to put your money in.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not federally insured. So they had to put it somewhere, and they had to put it into a safety deposit box. So
what do you mean you made those?
We made so we would get a location, I know how to get gym locations, right? So we just got an industrial location, made it fucking secured, put safety deposit box in there, put a 24-hour guard, and then offer the ability to house your money.
Holy shit.
I'm a fucking entrepreneur. I'm like a Jamaican. I got multiple fucking jobs. I sold all that when I went to work for Warrior Week. I moved myself completely out of anything that has to do with affecting kids and drugs and all that bullshit.
Right.
So because I couldn't continuously be inside that world knowing what I have with my kids.
Right.
So,
and for maybe preaching what you preach at Warrior Week.
Correct. 100%.
When did you get into fitness and sports? Were you working out this whole time?
Yeah, I was a soccer player in college, and I was a soccer player all my life. And then,
like real soccer player, like you played on the school team in college.
Yeah. I didn't make the team. No, I tried. I walked on, and then they actually turned the team into Title IX it. And so it went from actually a division sport to a club sport. And that was kind of part of me wanting to quit school, and then the chimps too. So and the amount of money I was making from selling dope, there was no reason to stay in school. So it was just like a pinnacle of shit that happened. So I walked away in 2000, came home, started fucking around again, still doing fitness, got into bodybuilding, did a couple competitions, cut down to like.
Were you when you played soccer? Were you like a metabolic fucking freak?
185 pounds. 185.
Oh, and how tall are you?
I'm like 5'9".
Okay, so not skinny.
No, I was a bigger soccer player.
Soccer player, yeah.
I was a bigger soccer player. Most of the time I wouldn't get on a team, or they would like judge me because of how big I was, but I was a hard worker, and I was always happy, I hate to say happy go lucky, but I was always, never bummed to work out, never bummed to train, never bummed to practice. I love the fucking journey of the practice. Right. So, coaches liked me for that. And so they would keep me around in that for sure. And then in 2000 to 2004, I was doing some bodybuilding. And then I realized that was just the sport of aesthetics and also posing. And it just wasn't for me. And so I met this guy, Skip Benzing, and Skip and I started talking
up north in Washington.
No, we're down here in California. Actually, he's an assistant strength coach at Cal State Fullerton, and I'm working at a 24-hour fitness. And he's trying to make some extra cash, and he just kind of gets inside this 24-hour fitness. And we start talking in regards to the Olympic lifts and how to train athletes in Olympic lifting.
Had you ever heard of the Olympic lifts at that point?
Yes. And I was always told that they were bad for you. And so I was never taught them, but I was working with soccer kids and knowing that if they were going to go to college, they were going to have to know how to do Olympic lifts. They're going to have to do a power clean. And so I wanted to develop that skill. I also got into kettlebells, and then I started realizing there's a lot of cool shit out there.
Did you know you were strong then?
Yeah, I was squatting like 500 pounds to parallel. I was still running like a 630 mile. Like we fucked around with all that shit prior to going and seeing, Glassman, because Mike Bergner and Josh Everett is who introduced us to Coach Glassman. So how did you meet Josh Everett and Mike Bergner the first time? Okay, through Skip Benzing, because Skip was a strength coach at Cal State Fullerton, and then we went to go get our USAW in 2004
from Mike.
From Mike in 2004, yeah.
When he would just teach them like at high school, and you pay like $50 a week or something, right?
At the high school, yeah. I went to go hang out with him quite a bit.
Oh my God!
So even when all his kids left,
does Mike remember you from back then?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it was just you and a bunch of high school kids. Like
at some point all the kids left the house, and it was like just me and Amy and Naya hanging out at the house, or a lot of the kids were moving on, and so I was local, so I would still drive down there a couple times a week to go and see them, especially on Saturday or Wednesday.
Wow, you were part of that scene. That's fucking crazy. How was that scene? For those of you who don't know, Mike Bergner, maybe arguably one of the most successful Olympic lifting coaches in the world, made a shitload of money, went from being just a dude who fucking taught high school kids how to Olympic lift and ran into Coach Glassman, and they built a great friendship. And Mike ran with the opportunity to teach Olympic lifting all over the world. Maybe one of the most influential people in the history of Olympic lifting. You could make that argument, right? For wheels, people that have spun off them.
I would make that argument.
Absolutely. And maybe one of the most generous people you could ever meet, right? This fucking guy lets anyone come up to his house and work out anytime, it seems like.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart of a man.
You were part of that crew? You would just roll in the garage and just
13
just drive
bars
up to his
deep.
house and, hey, Mike, and just get at it?
Yeah.
Mike, that is not safe.
Oh yeah, that's safe, man. I mean, if you're that fucking flaily, you need to figure it out, man. Maybe don't lift that weight, because if you're running with your weight, or it's like a CrossFitter that says, "Hey, man, I got a new PR, right? I got a new PR," and you're like, "All right, sweet. Well, how many times did you attempt it?" And they're like, 6 times, and you're like, "No, you got a 1 in 6 PR." It's very,
right. Well, you're right.
Very different.
Right.
Very different.
Well said. Okay, God, I didn't know you had those roots, and so you're rolling with those guys pre-CrossFit. It's just dirty down and dirty. Dude,
yeah, he's already kind of involved in CrossFit. This is the 3-day cert where, you have Dan John.
He was in 2004. He already was.
Yeah, or 2005. Yeah, he already was rolling with them. He already had the part of the 3-day cert where he was teaching it with. He taught his in the morning, I think, on like Saturday, and then even fucking Ripto taught. Dan John taught. What
did Dan John teach? What did Dan John teach?
I don't know, some shit about power or something. I don't remember. Dan taught. You had John Hackelman teaching fighting on Sunday.
I remember
it was a good crew. 3 days, and I would go up there quite a bit to go and visit them. It was good times.
And so they basically, so you met Mike and Josh, and they're like, "Hey, you should check out this CrossFit shit."
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, you guys are doing a lot of crazy shit, but you don't have anything to quantify it by. So you guys should go check out this CrossFit thing, because they take everything that you're doing and they have a quantification for it. Like they have the ability to take times, reps. Like there's beauty inside of what you're doing. You just don't realize that you're doing it." And at that time we were getting ran out of gyms, ran out of colleges, not very socially acceptable to do what we were doing, which was, CrossFit.
Isn't that crazy? Like overhead squats. I remember like being at UC Berkeley doing overhead squats or deadlifts, and people be like, "Are you like the fucking gym director coming over being like, dude, you can't do that shit."
Well, let's just understand something right now. There's no such thing as a stupid exercise. It's just a stupid exerciser.
Sure.
So the snatch is not bad. You are bad for the snatch. Like let's fucking put that out there right away.
When do you think that, hey, you're going to do this Olympic lifting thing at a competitive level?
So Skip talks me into being his test subject, and he's writing a senior thesis on Olympic weightlifting for, general population and college kids. And so he said, like, "Hey, you got to give me 8 months of it, and then you got to go get your USAW. You got to help me do some of the research." And I said, "Sure, I'll help you with that." So we go through the process of this, and then I compete 8 months later, and I qualify for American Opens in Kissimmee, Florida. And I like, fuck it, I might as well go and do this. Like what
year is that?
It's 2004, 2005, maybe. Fuck.
Crazy, dude.
2005, 2006. Fuck.
And are you loving it?
Yeah. I mean, it's keeping me out of jail. It's removing me from the process of doing what I was doing. It's giving me a newfound, ability to train multiple times a day. I was already training multiple times a day as a bodybuilder, but now I was actually getting athletic again. I'm fucking running fast 40s. I'm doing fucking, 60, 50 something reps at 225. Like I'm doing combine shit. And then now I'm snatching over my body weight. I'm clean and jerking 1.5 times. I'm squatting, 550 below parallel. And then there's this whole process that starts coming from it. So I started with only being able to snatch the barbell, and I started with mesh fucking gloves, clean and press. So to see myself change and develop, I fell in love with the sport. Kissimmee, Florida, I think I ended up 13 out of 13, and was like, fuck, I want to move up and see what I can do with this. And I trained for 2008 Olympic trials and trained for 2012.
No shit. Are you teaching at this point too? Is that how you're making money?
Yeah. So no, I'm running Globo Gym. So I'm working for 24-hour fitness. And then at one point I worked for Equinox as a fitness manager, teaching trainers how to sell and train other people, like program, periodization, all that kind of stuff, which in turn teaches them how to sell prescription sales instead of actually just arbitrary sales. And I would save like $100,000 or more, and then use what I used to have. And then I wouldn't work for 2 years. So I would work full time, train full time for 2 years. Cause remember, there's not fucking sponsorships like there are now. There's not, I mean, fuck, even when I was doing bodybuilding, I had to go and answer like penny saver ads to go and fucking pose for some weirdo that was like, you put the lotion on the skin, you know, like if I drank any water, I was gonna fucking end up dead. So, you know, that was the passion. So I did that for 8 years, and I would work full time for 2 years, and then I would stop fucking working, quit my job, and then just train full time.
And so 2008, you said you tried out to go to the Olympics.
Olympic trials, yeah.
And how was that? What's that like?
It was good. I mean, they changed the QT total to a standard of the top 3 in the world. So like the 105, now it's a different weight class, but at my time it was 105 plus. We were never going to be able to go because that was the most competitive weight class in the world. So, and women are going to actually score
meaning if
higher.
you people who weigh 105 kilograms.
Yeah. 231. That's like Klokov and shit. Right. So names that you would know. Just the most competitive, like, again, absolute weight is much more exciting to watch than relative weight being lifted.
But you still, even though it was that competitive, you still went through the process. You're like, hey, I'm still going to give it a shot. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, I ranked. I was a bridesmaid, never a bride. So I've come close at Americans and nationals and the Arnold Classic to podium, but never podiumed. You know.
And then why try again in 2012? Do you still? Why try again in 2012?
Because I said I would do 2 cycles, right? I said I would do 2 cycles of Olympic weightlifting and training for it, that I would, no matter what, I would put in the 2 cycles. And I got hit by a drunk driver in 2007, and just demolished.
Leading up to the trials, just demolished my shoulder. Nobody could guarantee that they would actually be able to repair it in time to lift at the trials in 2008. So then I just went up to the super heavyweight class and qualified for the trials in 2008 for a heavier weight class. Yeah. So I bumped it. And during this time that you're doing all this Olympic lifting, are you still doing dabbling in CrossFit also?
Yeah. I'm fucking around with, CrossFitters. I'm messing around with teaching it. I'm 100% passionate about it. I'm passionate about fitness. I'm passionate about community. And I have been. I'm never gonna get rid of the CrossFit name, no matter what. I don't care who comes to get it or what they want or where I gotta go to court for it. Like, I don't give a fuck. It's like it's ingrained on me. I'm surprised I don't have a fucking CrossFit tattoo. If I was one of those douchebags, I would.
Are you that's interesting. Why are you still affiliated? Just because loyalty? Because that what you're doing is CrossFit to you?
Yeah, man. I love Coach Glassman. I love what we've been able to do inside of spreading it from what I've seen to where it's at now. The sport, the community, the generalization, the fights, there's been a process inside there that, Greg wasn't the only one fighting those fights, right? Like,
right.
We were fighting them at like universities, I was fighting them throughout the world. I was, there was a huge process for me, for sure.
And so what year did you buy CrossFit Costa Mesa?
I just bought it during the pandemic, 2020, 2021.
Did you buy it before the pandemic?
No.
Oh, okay.
After the pandemic.
So basically the people who had it were like, this is fucked, and they needed to offload it. And you're like, okay, I'll step in.
Yep.
Wow. And you had been working there?
Yeah, I've been working there for 8 or 9 years.
Who were the owners? Did I know them?
Alec Hansen. They also were part of Grid. They were also part of Grid.
Okay, so I would for sure recognize the guy if I saw him.
Yeah, they knew they actually made the LA Reign team.
Okay.
Which in turn should have been done at a later time, and it would have done well, but they were eager to do it then.
Did you compete in Grid?
No, I coached it. I had the worst team in Grid, and I inherited it.
Awesome.
And I inherited it. I got like the bad news fucking Bears of Grid. And then I did a draft, and my draft would have been badass if the league would have sustained itself. I would have had a winning team for sure.
Now they're still around, but they're just in Florida, right? It's just got more localized.
Yes, and I think that's the only place they are.
And were you friends with Dusty Highland?
Yes, I am friends with him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart of a man. Good dude. We co-did that team for a while, and then actually I inherited the team. They fired him. It wasn't the point of firing him. I didn't come on board for him to get fired. So I don't think he has any anger towards it, but if he does, I apologize. That wasn't my intent.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Games level caliber coach, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. He has games athletes, multiple, like females, males. Yeah, he's done very well.
Lindsay Valenzuela, right?
Yeah, very well.
And Sam Briggs, right?
Yep. He's developed a lot of, he's a good lifter. He's a good gymnast.
Did he ever win the games? Did he ever win masters? He won his masters also.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, he had Kenny Leverage in there. I think he helped Noah for a while. So he helped some big fucking names.
Yeah, that guy's legit.
And that's the crappy thing about our industry, right? Like you'll help out a kid through his development process, and then he'll jump in with another coach, and people will actually think that that's the coach. Like, no, that's not the fucking coach. That's just the babysitter right now.
I should have him on. I text with Dusty, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times a year. Like something will happen and we'll just start texting for a day or two, you know? I should have him on.
Absolutely.
He's got and he doesn't have his CrossFit gym anymore.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so. The LA got real funky, so I wouldn't doubt it if he wanted to get out of it. LA got real weird.
Was his Dogtown?
Yeah, Dogtown.
Oh shit, I can't believe I remember that.
Dogtown. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wonder if that gym, hey, Caleb, can you see if that gym's still around? Dogtown CrossFit. Holy shit. We were all so young back then. That was 20 years ago. So you were basically 21, 22 when you first crossed paths.
That sucks.
With CrossFit. What's it say? Does it say closed?
Yeah, permanently closed.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I think he sold it though. I think it was good for him. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, no, my owner actually hooked us up. He did us a solid. We had a location that was $22,000 a month in the middle of COVID, and we weren't using any type of mortgatorium or anything like that. We were paying the bills, and then we subleased it out.
The rent was $22,000.
$22K. Yeah. Oh yeah. Big CrossFit gym. Yeah, 11,000 square feet, standalone building.
That's crazy stress.
And I was help managing that shit for 9 years.
What happens when you get 3 months behind on your rent? You're like, oh my God, $60,000.
You don't. You know, even in COVID, we weren't. So you don't get behind.
So, and that gym had 250 members and went down to what, 30?
35, the remnant.
And where did they all go? There was just people basically trying to survive. Their incomes were all fucked up too, and everyone just
either incomes were fucked up. They didn't want to deal with the bullshit of going in and out outside. They didn't want to deal with the mask or no mask. They didn't want to, some of them too had been around for so long. They've been around for like 8 or 9 years that it was an opportunity to leave without having to say goodbye. Right? Like it was a good way to kind of get a new gym for yourself. Also, we're good at what we do. You just hang out at this gym. You're going to get fucking fit through osmosis, and you go to another gym, you're a top dog. I mean, you leave fucking CrossFit Costa Mesa and you hang out here for 5 years, you're a top dog somewhere else. That's just the way it is. Like, and it's hard to come back to be a fucking low on the totem pole after you become a top dog.
Okay. Fair enough. And now the gym's back open. And where's your location now?
Costa Mesa.
And what street? Where?
We're on Adams and Harbor.
And how far is it from your house?
Like 3 miles, 2 miles. I live in Huntington Beach.
Okay, so you're doing it.
Oh yeah.
And then how do you cross paths with Warrior Week? You're a participant at first?
I'm a participant. I'm part of Warrior X. In 2015, when I retired from weightlifting, I was struggling with not understanding who I was and what I was going to do. Also, too, like business-wise, I didn't really know how I was going to crank up my business. And so I had a really good friend of mine that I was coaching, which was Sam Falsafi. And he was a coach there. He was the lead coach, head coach, and was like, hey, man, you should come try this out. You've done this survival shit. You'll be fine.
You were coaching him at your gym?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
For a couple of years. Yeah. I was helping him out. He liked the weightlifting, and we were talking, and I was training him, and he was like, hey, you should try this out. And I came out and did it. And I fell in love with it. Drago just dropped a new book as well. We donate money to the Navy SEAL Fund, which is another one that we help out. A good friend of ours just passed away, Dan Cirillo. He's part of it as well. So
Dan was part of Warrior Week?
He was really good friends with Sam, and they worked together in regards to developing things and helping each other out and talking with each other.
Yeah, that's crazy that Dan passed. I remember Dan was up at like a Trident CrossFit or something like that, Frogman CrossFit or something up in Washington. I remember visiting his gym like way back in the day.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah, friends with Dave. He was a SEAL, right?
Yeah. Like one of the best SEALs, has a high body count, one of the highest.
Fuck.
Yeah, one of the highest. He's fucking Taco is no joke. Taco
yeah, that's right.
No
Taco. That's what they called him, Taco. And then so tell me so he says, hey, you should come check it out, and you go check it out. And what is it?
That's a great question. It's an experience. That's what it is. It's an experience. That's about as much as I can say about it. It's an experience.
And how many days?
Now it's 4 days. Now it's a 4-day experience.
And you sleep there?
Yeah, sleep there, eat there, shit there, piss there. You got to be willing to check your ego, check yourself, check yourself in, be present, be able to be humble and go through the process, trust the process, details, understanding details. And it's not like Navy SEAL bullshit. It's not military bullshit. It's real and raw and relevant bullshit. Like it's heavy.
Going back to the car rolling, and you said it put you on a pursuit of God. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Did you ever find God?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Not through hallucinogenics, let me tell you that. I know some people say that, but whenever you pre-frame the ability to see God with drugs, then you don't really see God, right? Like, let's understand that. And I've done shamans. I've gone with a shaman. I've done spiritual trips. I've just done drugs too in general. But I was born Roman Catholic. I've always believed in Jesus Christ as my savior. I just don't like talking about God to other people, because I'm very selfish about it, right? It's my connection with my God, and it's never been something that I wanted to put out there. This is probably the first time in my life that I've just said it like that openly. And mostly because I don't want to get lumped up with the fucking crazies on the fucking street holding a sign that the end of days are coming, Right. I don't want to be associated with that. But I do want to be associated with God and the word and understanding the truth, and that's where I'm at.
Let me ask you this. While I believe, respecting what you just said, your pursuit was, what's that called when you something's fruitful? Your pursuit was
bountiful.
Oh, thank you, Caleb. Bountiful. That was like God speaking to me. I don't know where that voice came from.
The Holy Spirit.
Yes. It was bountiful. The pursuit was a good pursuit.
Absolutely. It was a long pursuit, and it was investigative. And I went through the 7 religions of the world. I've read Bhagavad Gita's, Upanishads, fucking, you name it. I've been involved with it, read it. I still read it. I still investigate it. The Quran. I have all 7 major tattoos tattooed on my back to remind me of it. I'm very, very investigative of God and wanting to know really why and why am I here, and why is this relationship matter? What does it matter for me to have relationships with others? What's the purpose, right? And most of it, it's just not going to ever be known. But I'm still curious.
Right. I think that I think that's kind of the noble path, right? To pursue the unknown. Mm-hmm. But what about, so then bringing you back up to this Warrior Week thing, why do that if you've already taken the journey on your own? Like, what does he say to you that?
So I'm going to fuck you up right now. So the COVID hits. Hits and I'm going online. Me and you were talking on and off. You're fucking keeping me alive. Actually, you were a big part of me making it through COVID, with the kids, understandings. Yeah. You, man. Yeah. Our little text messages at night, me fucking yelling at you, talking to you. Yeah, you kept me in the fight, kept me in the investigation. You kept me in the love of helping the kids. And, yeah, fuck, man, I owe you a lot for it.
Wow. Crazy. Thank you. I had no idea.
So I get into this thing and we get out of the gym. I'm looking for a new location. I'm working online and I decide, you know what? I only want to work with men. I only want to work with men. I don't really want to work with women online. I want to develop men. And who else do I know that can do that besides Sam? And so I'm like, oh, I got to reach out to Sam. But I'm humble, but I'm not. My ego's in it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't need a handout. I can make it through fucking COVID without a handout. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'm going to go get some food one night. And I go and get food. And as I'm walking out, it's full COVID, right? I got a fucking mask on. Like everywhere I'm going, it's locked down. I'm walking out and there's a homeless man sitting there and asked me for my food. And immediately I'm like, you know what? Fuck this guy. I want to keep my food. I just waited for this. And it's like, hey, give him your food. So I'm like, all right, fuck. I give him my food. And I'm like, I'm
Meaning you hear the two voices. One's like, give me your food. And the other one is like,
fuck this guy. Yeah, eat your food. You're a fucking fatty, man. Eat your own shit, man. You're like, who knows what he's going to do? He's probably going to sell my food and buy drugs with it, you know?
Right.
Like all that shit. And so I'm like, no, I give him my food. And I go back inside and I order some more food. So I go back out while I'm waiting because you can't even wait inside the fucking restaurant. Right. He's got to wait outside. I go back out and he says, hey, sit with me and eat with me. And I'm like, no, I don't want to get COVID. I don't want to get sick. Guaranteed you're fucking sick. I don't know, flu or not. You're going to kill me.
Get something right. I'm going to step on one of your needles.
Yeah. You got heroin in your pocket for all I know. Yeah. And then I sit down and he takes his mask off. And again, I panic. Right. And so I take mine off and I have this full on conversation with him. And in this process, I ask him, hey man, what got you on the streets and what kept you in the streets? Like, why didn't you get help to get out? And he said, you know, in this process of being on the street, I never asked for help. I had friends, I had people, I had ability to get help. And yet I just refused to take it. And that was kind of a eye opener for me to ask for help because again, I was not being humble enough and my ego wasn't in check. And I had a job in San Diego because at that time I'm fucking like a vagabond just trying to get cash in the house. So I'm driving down there to get some work done, help out some people, physical fitness and stuff. And I go past Sam's exit. And so I call him and I'm like, hey man, what's the deal with helping out men? And he says, well, come down here, let's chat. So I go down there and we start talking about, you know, helping men online and all that stuff. We come up with a beautiful mind situation of what we need to do. And he knew that I had done logistics for certifications before. And he knew I knew how to run, you know, 2-day certs. And so he said, hey, would you want to do my logistics for Warrior Week when we turn this back on? So
and sure, what did you do that for originally? Like CrossFit football or something?
Yeah, CrossFit football. Yeah.
Okay.
Even like hanging out with the L1s, I understood Flowmaster. I understand all that shit, right? I'm a glorified wedding planner now. So we went through the process and we turned it on early and I became logistics. And then he's like, hey, do you want to coach here too? And I was like, absolutely. And here we are. But
first you went through the program.
Yes, in 2015.
And did that? Oh, right. Okay. So wow. So the program, even after going through the program, you were still hesitant to ask for help.
Yes.
But did you love the program when you went through it?
Yes, I love the actual movement of. I don't really like what Garrett's doing now, but I really like, and I never really had been very.
Who's Garrett? That's the guy who's running it now.
Yeah, he's the guy that does Wake Up Warrior. Like I've never been enthralled with Garrett J. White. I mean, he never actually kind of. I'm a lot of guys want to go and swing off his dick. I've never been one that wanted to swing off his cock. Like it's nothing for me. It's not. He's like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of vibe. You know, he's a guy that pivots a lot. I just don't trust guys like that. I can trust Greg Glassman because I know Greg Glassman is going to preach CrossFit and has for a long time. He hasn't fucking pivoted, you know?
Yeah.
So that's but the Wake Up Warrior movement and what they do for men in the essence of like developing them and understanding what the importance of your body, your being, your balance, and your business, those core 4 is essential. Like it's very rare that you meet an entrepreneur that's doing well for himself, that puts self-love into himself and not being able to develop. Like you do work on yourself, shit fucking happens.
So let me go, because you kind of lost me here. Wake Up Warrior and Warrior Week are 2 different things.
Yes.
Okay. Because their YouTube channels are kind of all twisted up. into one.
Correct. We were ran and operated by Wake Up Warrior, and then Sam Falsafi took Warrior Week, and now we were like a brother company, and now we're our own company.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know this guy either. I probably shouldn't say any of this shit I'm about to say, but the guy with the Lamborghini and the chick with the fake tits and the fake wife and all that shit and all the tattoos. And I'll
eat that lunch. If we're in a room together, I don't care how much money he has, I'll eat his lunch. So we're good.
I don't know. I don't know the guy, but the whole, there is a, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just my hippie roots. I like a simple life. I like my toe spacers. I like to go barefoot. I like to dig a hole and plant a fruit tree. I'm happy for a guy who has a Ferrari, but there becomes a point where, I watched some of his stuff with him and his wife as I was digging through doing research on you. It looks hard. I want me to be easy and simple. Me, you know what I mean? I don't mind life being hard, but being him looks hard. You know what I mean? I just want to go out to my car. I want to go out to my car and get in it. I don't want to be have to dust it off first.
I mean, you do a lot of good work, right? Like you're doing the same thing where you're putting yourself out there. You're fucking talking on podcasts.
Yeah.
You're putting out content. But if anything, you're not running a front, right? You're not trying to sell yourself through what you have. You're selling yourself through you. That's very different for me personally. Some guys really get attracted to it, right? It's like some guys really don't understand, like, oh, there's no way Max is an entrepreneur and has money because, he doesn't live on the beach. He has a house in Huntington Beach and he has a Subaru, where it's like, well, you don't know my bank account. You don't really know.
Right.
Right. I've dealt with a lot of money and a lot of cash that had to be used and moved around quickly. So I'm very good at understanding money.
The happiest people I know, the happiest I've ever been is when I was homeless. And the happiest version of myself is the version of me that doesn't have to worry about anything. So I can park anywhere and I'm not worried about someone opening their car door and hitting my car door. I'm not worried about the price of avocados. I'm not worried about the price of gas. I'm not worried about I can go, I'm not sure. I can walk anywhere barefoot. I'm just not, I'm not worried. I'm free.
Fucking Ed Cartoli over here.
yeah, exactly. And so so for me, that's that the only aspect of this other life I like is I do think that, and I'm late to the party, but that boys should know how to shoot guns and beat people up.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like I'm okay with the more of the I like the Bruce Lee type, just fucking no shirt, just fucking chill. You know what I mean? Walk around barefoot, be cool, but if someone needs an ass whooping, they got to take an ass whooping.
Yeah, most people that know how to operate a gun and know martial arts have discipline. The sooner we can teach our children discipline, the better off we are. And I know that we live in a world that's like, oh no, discipline's bad. No, go fuck yourself. It's not. They need it. They need to know what they can and cannot do early. They need to know, or they want to know it. They thrive to be taught, right? Your kids thrive to learn. And so why not teach them all the skills that they can have? I mean, most grown men don't even want to learn and develop skills. Think about it.
Right.
You meet a 35-year-old man and you ask him, hey, what was the last skill you developed? And they're like, what do you mean? What was the last book that you read? What was the last thing that you write? I go on an airplane, I start writing in a fucking notebook and reading a paperback book. People look at me like I'm a fucking terrorist. They're like, what the fuck is that?
And the 60-year-old guy next to you is playing video games on his iPhone.
Yeah.
Hey, and I love a Lamborghini. I think a Lamborghini is a fucking amazing piece of equipment, amazing piece of art. Everyone should have opportunity at some point in their life to drive one, own one, whatever. But if it's not adding, if it's complicating your life and taking freedom from you, save the cash, put the $1 million in your pocket, and then just buy a Honda Civic or a bicycle. You'll be so much happier. I guess that's where I'm at. That shit looks hard, the shit he's doing. Hard in a way that's not fruitful and free. I doubt that I don't think those people are happy.
You sound like someone trolloping in the forest right there. That was full Santa Cruz. But
I mean,
You're right though, because the house income in California, right? Let's say you buy a $10 million, $15 million home. Who wants to pay $300,000 or $30K or $50K a month for your mortgage? Like that's fucking ridiculous. Like if you really buy multiple houses, if that's the case, why not buy multiple houses, have multiple assets instead of just putting it all into one nut? I don't understand that one. That's hard for me.
Yeah, it's the same thing with I've had friends who've gotten all brand new teeth, right? Like they just didn't like their teeth, so they got all brand new teeth. And now 2 days a year they have to fucking deal with their new teeth. And then every 5 years they got to like deal with it for like a month. I'm like, fuck that. I'm happy with the teeth that I have, and I want all those days. I don't want to have to like, I don't want my wife to go away for a week and have to have her fucking implants redone and then put her unconscious. It's just not, I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like a simple life. So going back to Warrior Week, so would you say that's where your primary focus is these days?
100%. My primary focus is on helping men and the fellowship of Warrior Week and developing that fellowship in that community.
Yeah, that's fucking cool. Who should do it? What if shit's good for you?
You should do it.
What if shit's rock bottom for you?
You should do it.
Yeah. Why, if shit's good for you, should you do it?
Well, why not give? You know, it's hard for a man to give, right? Like it's easy for someone to take. So if you're at rock bottom, it's easy to be like, fuck, my life is fucked. I need to fucking fix what I'm doing. So then you get into this thing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I feel great again. And then now you start moving forward, and then you're just a taker. Well, if everything is going well, why not investigate if it truly is? Because there is a story inside there. Because even when you're saying it's going well, it's really not going well. Because that's where I was in 2015. I wasn't going well. I thought it was going well. I thought I had everything, but I didn't realize that I was missing some really key components in my life. One of them was a really good relationship with my wife. The other one was, a really good developed business and understanding it. If I don't have that business, I don't make it through fucking COVID. So there's stuff inside there where the more you start to investigate yourself and you investigate the stories, the less you become a victim, the less and less you become full of shit. I mean, even if things are going well, what does that look like for you to give that to somebody else? Because it's easy to take, it's hard to serve, especially serve another man.
One of the things that said in there was purpose. So is that the takeaway for people? Is that the primary thing? And you go in there and 4 days later, you either find your purpose or solidify your purpose or have a better understanding of your purpose?
Yes, you find a better reason of your why.
And for you, it helped you in your relationship with your wife?
Yes, absolutely. It actually allowed me to suddenly, when COVID hit and everything kind of became chaos, to be able to check back into almost a mini Warrior Week and put myself in the garage and rebuild myself, right? It allowed me to have tools and an avenue to be like, okay, hey, this is an opportunity. When everybody's running one way, I'm going to run the other way. So how do I attack this? And so I got to restructure my lifestyle, my morning routines, my nighttime routines, my life in general, because I was kind of in a prison in myself.
Sorry, 1 second. Hey, Caleb, are we having issues with the stream right now?
The live chat is not updating. I don't know what it is. I tried refreshing. Like I have to get out and open it back up, and then it'll refresh to the most recent. But I can see it on YouTube.
You can't. That's crazy. Have we ever had this problem?
No, never. And
did I say anything crazy?
No, it's not like
maybe me.
That's fucking nuts. That's so weird that I can't because I'm like, wow, this is so weird. I'm not seeing any movement. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Okay, now I see it. Now I saw DeWitt Mahari just put testing the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
And Kenneth DeLapp just said it's good for all the viewers. What a trip.
You can see that on YouTube, but you can't see that on StreamYard.
Yeah, I just opened up YouTube. I can't see it. I can't pull up comments or anything. I see Kenneth Walters. I prefer the Bruce Lee no shirt. Yeah. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I'm not.
Yeah, I was tripping a little bit.
I didn't lose you. Okay.
I scared everybody away. You're like, oh fuck, this Max guy really fucked up my feed.
No, they're all here.
Oh, Allison NYC asks a really good question. How does someone with children read books and write on a plane? That's a fucking great question. I feel like last time I was on a plane, I was just making trips to the bathroom the whole time. You ever fly with both your kids? You ever fly with both your kids?
No, not yet.
Oh, good luck.
Not yet.
Not yet. Dude, it's one fucking, I have 3 kids, and it's just like every 8 minutes, it's either someone's crying or has to go to the bathroom or is hungry it's crazy. But it makes the trip go by fast. It makes the trip go by crazy fast. You never get settled. Holy shit, you're worked when you're done. It's
How
so
far did
weird.
you fly?
Just I've flown to Hawaii with them a couple times, I think.
Okay. That's still a long flight. That's the only place I can remember. But it's like, and it's been years. It's probably been over 3 years. So now probably they could go to the bathroom and do that shit themselves. And the only time the crying part happens during landing because of the ear popping. Yeah.
My kids hadn't figured that shit out. And you feel so fucking helpless. You're like, hey, swallow. Hey, chew this. Dude, try this. And they're fucking holding their heads like their head's going to explode.
I mean, that's got to be pretty humbling too. I mean, that's the one thing that all of us parents hate, right? Is not being able to help our kids when they're in that kind of sad state or that needy state. Like if you have to take them to the hospital and you can have no control of a way to help your child, it's fucked up. That's when you realize what being a parent is.
Max, you've had a lot of business ventures.
Yeah.
In some very high profile situations, just like, again, and by high profile, I mean with people like CrossFit or training professional athletes. And then now Warrior Week is obviously high profile. You got a shitload of people coming in and out of there. You think you're getting better at it each time, the relationships, like the mistakes you've made in the past with other people or people have made with you, like you're like, okay, I need to make sure that I don't repeat this. Like life just keeps handing me the same lessons over and over. Like I've been noticing that with some friends. I'm like, okay, how can I not? Recently, someone did to me something that someone else has done to me in the past. They kind of undermined something I was working on. They got upset with me, and so then they attacked and undermined. And in the past, I had been aggressive and open about it, and it didn't work out well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and so I'm trying to think now. I have another opportunity, and I'm like, how can I handle this one differently?
I look for that.
Like I want to take a different path.
I look for that. As long as I've been in this game, I've been coaching for 20 plus years. I've been involved with business for 20 plus years. The more and more that kind of shit happens, the better I get at it. But I also look for it, right? Like the gamification of life. So I look for, okay, hey, this is the situation I had before. This is where I fucked it up. How could I have done it better? What do I want for me? What do I want for them? And what do I want for us? And then I go through that in real time. Yeah.
Like, even things that you know that you're right about, right? Like, I want to just make something up. Someone's in my yard stealing fruit. That hasn't happened. And the first time I run out there, I'm like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Let's say, right? And then I get into a confrontation with them. And then that night when I'm going to sleep at night, I'm thinking, fuck, is this person going to come back to my house and do something fucked up? So then the next time they come and steal fruit from my house, I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? Did you need some fruit? Here, I'm running inside and get you a bag. Pick all you want, dude. Maybe it's not the right thing to do. Maybe that guy did something wrong, but I want to try something different because when I go to bed at night, I don't want to be worried about them fucking coming back and fucking my shit up. Right? Like literally like just reworking. I just want to try. Sometimes I just need to just try something new. You know?
Yeah, trying a new interaction, trying to see how that would work. And even
if it doesn't feel right, it's like, dude, I need a better outcome.
Yeah. That's the beauty of life, right? Because if not, then you're doing the same thing over and over again, which is what? That's fucking the definition of insanity. So why get stuck in that fucking loop where, imagine in that same scenario, right? The first one you run the guy off, you're like, what the fuck? Get out of here. Don't take my fruit. The next one you hand him the fruit and the guy becomes lazy. So then you're fucking not really helping him out either. Then the next one comes and you're like, hey man, what's the deal? And he's like, well, I'm fucking real hungry and I'm fucking homeless. Like, okay, cool. Can you clean my yard? And actually, I'll give you fruit if you clean my yard. And then he cleans your yard and takes the fruit. And now you're also you're not enabling him in a negative way. But unless you have those other two interactions, you don't fucking learn that.
When you're working with Sam, do you guys have a good relationship?
Yeah. Yeah. Is it hot? Is it hot? And we fucking battle and shit. Cause I mean, we've known each other for 10 plus years. Absolutely. Yeah. But is it a real man relationship? And like we have love for each other? 100%.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I trust him. That's the first man that I've been able to trust in a very, very long time that won't leave me because of the economy. He won't leave me because of money. He won't leave me. I mean, we've been together coaching and working with each other for 10 plus years. And then now I am actually working for him, and being able to have very honest, open conversations is what moves us forward. Right. Because if I lie or if I hide something from him or I don't take ownership, and not like the shit you hear online ownership, like truly, hey man, I fucked up because of this and I don't have resources because of this, then we can move forward. But unless we have conversations like that, then we're just fucking each other.
Judy in the comments says something pretty good. Sevan, you can't control him coming into your yard, but you can control your reaction. And I guess that sums it up at the end of the day, what she said. You need to control what you can control.
Yeah. But if you don't know how to control your feelings and you don't understand your feelings, you're fucked. You're fucked. So if you don't understand what anger is and rage is, because you're going to tell me, well, I don't have anger, I don't have rage. I'm going to tell you, Sevan, you do. You just don't know yet. Same thing if you tell me all I am is rage and I don't have any peace or love. Well, that's bullshit too. You know, we're just never told in society to start to investigate those feelings, because understanding how you feel versus your feelings are very different. And getting in tune with those is crucial for a man.
Explain that to me, the understanding how you feel versus understanding your feelings.
Yeah. So how you feel can be your story versus your feelings is your emotions.
Oh. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's the shit we do.
Yeah, that's cool. Dudes, so that must be really, how many times a year do you do Warrior Week?
We only offer 4 of them a year. That's it. We offer 4 of them a year. We have a cap and we sell them out. We don't really advertise much. We're probably going to start doing some shit online, but for the most part, it's really underground. We only have 15 seats. August is already sold out. We have one in November, and then we do only 4 of them a year, but we have 20 events a year through the fellowship and the process as it moves forward.
So basically, after you go through the 4-day event, you belong to there's a group of alumni. Mm-hmm. And so those alumni have things that go on year round. Yeah. But the actual to get the gateway only happens 4 times a year, opens up 4 times a year.
Correct. Yeah. You have to be willing to truly share some stuff, open up, and put yourself at that rock bottom, no matter whether you're there or not. Understanding what
can people fail the course, Max?
People quit. Yeah, people quit. People drop out. They don't make it through. They don't have the humility to make it through the days. There is a process there.
Sam wrote the course.
For the most part, yes. He wasn't the originator, but he developed it after he took it from Garrett. I mean, he's been running them since I think Warrior Week, like fucking 8 or 9, and we're at 74, 73.
Have you ever put one on and then you see someone you know there, and like they didn't know you were going to be there and you didn't know they were going to be there?
Old Warrior Week men, like somebody that has been from the past, yeah. But nothing crazy.
Some people do it more than once?
Yes, because the old version is very different than the new version. So in the past, the problem was the inability to stay together, right? So they couldn't figure out how to build the community and build the fellowship. And Sam figured it out. He has the magic.
He cracked the code on it.
Yeah, he cracked the code on it. Well, technically, God being the center is the code, but there's a lot to it.
What if someone smokes cigarettes and they go to it? How do they make it through? They have to quit during those 4 days?
No, we make them smoke.
Oh, they get to smoke while they're there.
And they get to smoke a lot.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on. Good catching up with you again. You're doing fun shit.
Absolutely. Hey, don't be shy to get me on these fucking chats with these CrossFit stuff. I mean, these workouts, we have to talk about these workouts. We have to talk about these regionals or whatever the fuck.
Are you staying up to speed on that kind of stuff?
Fuck yeah. What do you mean? What am I?
Well, I don't know. I don't know who keeps up with. So you paid attention to semifinals.
Yeah. They were slow. They were slow.
Okay.
They were slow.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
They were real slow workouts. Even the fast workouts were slow workouts.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, I like what you're saying already. I haven't told anyone this except for a few people through text message. I'm going to start a weekly show.
Okay.
It's going to be at night. I think like on Sunday nights or on Thursday nights, where I just rotate people in and talk about CrossFit shit, game shit, with a phone line that opens up so people can call in, right? And just basically start an AM radio show. It just needs to be done. I was just thinking, you know what? There just isn't one. There needs to be just a weekly show that's every fucking week at fucking 7:00 on Sunday night, and we just talk shit.
Yeah, long time listener, first time caller. I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in for sure.
Yeah. Do you think in a fight? You know, people can ask questions. Do you think in a fight who would win, Jason Khalipa or Josh Everett from back in the day?
Well, have you seen Jason Khalipa throw a baseball? I mean, that was a long time ago.
I know, but now his jiu-jitsu's looking crazy.
Yeah, his grappling is good. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Striking is different than rolling. So
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that ball throw thing was weird.
It was weird.
But even Spieler had something wrong with his ball throw. Spieler couldn't do the quarter extremity.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird that a fighter wouldn't be able to do? I mean, he was a wrestler. Isn't it weird that he couldn't do that?
But again, no, because being able to have that hand-eye coordination versus grabbing coordination is different, right? That striking and reaching and tapping versus actually pulling and grabbing and rolling is very different.
Why do women do softball underhand and men do? Well, why don't they just throw the ball overhand? What are the origins of that?
That one I don't know. I do know that there's a mathematic equation that says if they can throw underhand at like 60, it's equal to like a 90-mile-an-hour overhand pitch. There's some fucking weird math that's done there.
It seems significantly harder to throw a ball underhand than overhand, doesn't it?
Yeah. Maybe the height of where they're at with the mound. I don't know. That would be an interesting conversation in itself.
I came out of the womb. I came out of the womb knowing how to skip a rock.
20 post a video on that.
20 skips at 7 years old, probably.
No fucking way. You got 20 skips?
Come on.
Ocean water or lake water?
Lake water. Bathtub water.
Hey, fucking hey.
I got 2 skips in the ocean.
I'm calling bullshit right away on this.
No, I'm telling you, lake water. Skip it. You just call a number. I'll make it skip that many times.
No. You bring your own rocks?
No. I'll hunt my own rocks too.
Awesome.
Good having you on, brother.
Likewise.
And okay, so I'll stay in touch. I'd love to have you on. I'd love to test you out. I'm looking for a fresh face, a fresh mouth.
Yeah, you're not going to hear the shit that I'm going to tell you from any other of the CrossFit coaches.
Okay, good. It's a cantankerous bunch. You're going to have to like interrupt and shit and like you fight your way in. You can do that? Elbow your way in? Yeah, you got a little bit of that? Okay.
I sleep fine at night.
All right.
Sweet. I love you, man.
Max Mormont, Max Fit USA, and CrossFit Costa Mesa. Good having you on, brother. And I will talk to you soon. I'm serious.
Yeah, I love you, man. Thank you.
All right, love you too. Bye-bye. I had no idea where that show was going to go. God, I'm so bummed without the chat. It's like my friends are gone.
Me too.
You're bummed without the chat too?
Yeah, I noticed after a while I wasn't seeing it anymore. I wondered if everybody left us.
All right. Max is legit. Great guest. I need a dick in me. All right, cool. Have we gone? No, we haven't gone. You'd wreck your shoulder throwing a softball overhand. Yeah, probably, right?
It's back now.
Well, hey, it is back? Is it?
Yes.
Oh, that is so weird. So Max was fucking it up?
I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how either. Hey, it's funny you say that. My buddy John Brzezinski, who is the greatest arm wrestler of all time, I made a movie about him called Pulling John. When he was in his 30s, he threw a softball from outfield to home plate and fucking got a stinger in his. Is that what those are called? Stinger in his shoulder.
Really?
And it never went away. Throwing a softball overhand. David Weed says cool dude. I don't know if that's a good if you want David saying you're a cool dude. I'm really excited about this show that we're going to launch. I'm really excited about JR and Taylor's show too. Their show's on Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
I think so.
Whatever we posted on Instagram was wrong. I think Bruce is fixing that now. Judy says, I thought Travis Bajan was. Travis was, John was legitimately the best arm wrestler who ever lived. Basically, I mean, there's guys now who could probably beat him, but he for like 20 years, he was unbeatable. And then Travis's claim to fame is that he was the best ever left-handed, but now he's I don't think that's true. It will be very hard for someone to get the accolades in arm wrestling that John had. Especially, there was a point where it was kind of in its heyday. I don't know if it's ever made it back to that. We're going to have, so I'm trying to organize a show in the next week or two. I haven't told anyone this either. Susan knows it, but I want to try to get Tyson Bagent and Rich Froning both on the same show together. And Tyson is finishing his first, so basically 105 guys are in the training camp for the Chicago Bears, and then they cut it down when the season starts down to 53, and it gets cut down, I think, like every month. So he just went to his second training camp there, and he finishes in, he's home. I think he came home on the 15th of June. So I'm trying to get Tyson on for like the first 45 minutes of a show, and then Rich on the second, or vice versa. and then their paths will cross. Oh, there he is. What a great year. My faith, my friends, my family make it so easy for me to do good.
Even the Bears commented themselves.
Wow. Holy shit. That's a good sign, right?
I think so.
What's this? Shut Up and Scribble is Thursdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, shit. I don't know shit. Okay. No, is it? It's on Thursdays? What the fuck?
It's Thursdays.
Is it really on Thursdays?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, so it can't be on Thursdays. My show can't be on Thursdays, so it'd have to be on Wednesdays or Sundays. Wednesdays or Sundays. It can't be Wednesday either. Too busy for me. Friday or Sunday. It has to be Friday or Sunday. Hey, Sevan, off the subject, but when you were on with Dave Castro, you said you fast for 2 sleeps. How often do you? Every week. And actually, so it's funny you asked that, Gary. I stop eating every Saturday night, and I don't start again until Monday morning. And I've done that pretty much for 3 years. But actually, yesterday, I fucking ate like a pig. So I'm actually, last night I stopped eating, I don't know, it's like 5 p.m. probably. And I won't eat again until tomorrow morning. So I won't eat today. But I drink black coffee. It's basically, there's 1 shot of espresso in here and a Paper Street Coffee espresso. Use code word Sevan to get it, your shipping free, I think. And the rest is filled with hot water.
That's an Americano.
Oh, is that what that's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have an Americano. Super diluted. My wife won't even sip this shit because it's so diluted. But that's what I do. I try it one day. Stop eating Saturday night, start again Monday morning. I think one time Anita Dick and me, I did a 10-day fast but I did drink vegetable broth. And it was so long ago that I feel like if I tell you I did that, I'm lying. But I did a 5-day water fast twice a couple of years ago. Nothing but water for 5 days both times. It did not do me well. The first time I got really fucked up. Like the last day something was wrong with my heart and shit. Like I could hear my heart beating, like it was dry firing or some shit. It was not good. And the second time I did it, I took a bunch of like potassium pills and salt pills and shit, and I didn't get that weird shit. But it took a year for my eating to get back to normal. Like I feel like when I came off of my second 5-day fast, I put on 10 pounds so fucking quickly over my normal walking weight, and I just have never lost it. So I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. Christian Kettler, what is all that shit on your back, by the way? Can we make it a rule that only JR? Can we make it a rule that only JR can wear wife beaters during Shut Up and Scribble? Taylor looks like he needs a leather hat and chaps. Yeah, that's true. That would be awesome. All right. So excited to have Tyson Bajan on. Excited to have Rich Froning on. I was texting with Sarah Sigmund's daughter. She'll be coming on. Remember we had her before semifinals and then we lost her.
That was sad. I was looking forward to having her on.
We have Tommy G tomorrow. Tommy G's
again?
Yeah, his YouTube channel has exploded. Put on another 200,000 subscribers since last time we had him on. Dude, Wednesday's going to be crazy again. We're having Seth Gruber on. For those of you who don't know who Seth Gruber is, we had him on once already. He's the guy who's made it his fucking life goal to not let babies get killed. They call him pro-life. And as you all know, I'm pro-choice. And I love having him on. I saw this fucking skit he did. It was so fucking good. He's so fucking good. Founder of the White Rose Resistance. Host of the Unaborted. Unaborted? I'm unaborted. You're unaborted.
We are.
Unaborted. What a weird word. I don't like that word. Unaborted. Wow. Oh, he did a show with Jordan Peterson. Listen to his podcast with Jordan Peterson, the two most annoying voices in one show. Oh, with RFK. Oh, not with Seth Gruber.
Yeah, I hate his voice too.
Who, RFK's?
Yeah.
It's tough, right?
It's like he's talking through a stoma.
What's a stoma? Oh, this thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, good. We can hear someone talk about how he's pro-choice. And then they did the Pinocchio symbol. I am pro-choice. And then, but he's fun. He's fun. He makes talking about dead babies fun. I really like him. And then on Thursday morning, Greg Glassman's coming on. And then Shut Up and Scribble at 11 a.m. Okay, yeah, I see it. Susan got it on the schedule. Okay. And then Friday morning, a live call-in show. God, I need a live call-in show so bad. It's so there's so much shit I would just want to show you guys. Let me see if I can find something fun. Let me see. There was something here. Cursive, fake tits. Oh, I got this thing on. You want to see something about fake tits?
Boy, do I.
That tranny. Did you see the video going around with the tranny with the fake tits on the lawn of the White House?
Yeah.
Oh. No. He just invited me to his house for breakfast.
Greg?
Yeah, I just said now. Yeah. That would be cool.
His lecture's
there was a train. Say that again.
His lecture's up on YouTube now.
Greg's.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Kettler. I missed Caleb. Everyone misses Caleb. I know. Me too. More holidays, please. Hey, so they had a tranny on the lawn of the White House with her tits out, and they were fucking the nicest tits.
I thought you hated fake tits.
I philosophically, I fucking am 100% against them. Emotionally, intellectually, and visually, I'm 100% for them. I mean, there's tension in my being. I'm not I'm not on one team between my. I mean, the thought of just fucking running full speed with my face into a set of giant fake tits sounds fucking awesome. But I mean, I don't know. but I just find it weird that like a dude. That's the thing that's weird. Look at Allison NYC. Fake tits are pure poison. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, says the girl with the fucking God gave her 3 women's tits.
Oh, good. They apologized for doing that.
Oh, for doing what?
Going topless on the White House lawn.
Why? Why would they apologize for that?
Disrespectful.
Transgender activists apologizes for going topless on the White House lawn. There were, I don't know. It's fine. But what I think is funny is those are the same tits that's like that so many guys like. Like you could take those tits and just crop them and hand them to dudes, and dudes would jerk off to them. But they belong to a dude.
People
look at Pool Boy poison. Look at Pool Boy poison me then. It's all right. So they said sorry. I don't know why they would say sorry. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you guys. Oh, okay. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Here, this. I saw this the other day. So I have this issue. I have this issue of people that I hang out with because I'm always. Well, let me play this for you guys first. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go.
Never not working on material. Every second of my existence, I'm thinking, could I do something with that?
That to me sounds torturous. Like you cannot let
why?
go. So if I came over to your house and we were hanging out, you're kind of really looking for material.
Not kind of. I'm looking for material.
Yeah, that's me. I'm constantly. There's no time when I'm not doing looking for material.
That's all the time. That's making jokes is not work. It's a gift.
Yeah, and like I don't even care if it's like I'm just looking for material for the show constantly, and it's causing some conflict in my life. It's not. I can't even tell you guys the story because then it would cause more conflict. Do you know what I mean?
They'd be mad that you told the story about the time that
they got mad at
content.
me. Yeah, but now there's multiple people. I'm losing friends. And they'll be like, "Hey, that story wasn't even true." I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's true. I'm trying to share a message." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, "Yo, so and so was drinking Coke," and they'll be like, "But I was drinking Pepsi." I don't say their names. Like, you know what I mean? Let's say you were at my house, Caleb, and I saw you drinking Coke. I might be like, yeah, there was this girl, Cynthia, and she was at my house drinking Pepsi. I would change the name and the drink. That doesn't matter. I would have
corrected you saying that I was drinking RC Cola.
Right. It doesn't. See, look at Allison. Yeah, see, she knows because she hangs out with me. I haven't lost her as a friend yet. She says, yes, it makes me super paranoid. She's asked me like, hey, was that story about me? And I lied to her. I said no. Sevan, I get up at 4 a.m. and it shows that you are on Instagram already. I usually open my Instagram for the first time around 6:15 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Not before that. I'm not the kind, when I wake up in the middle of the night, here's a question for you, Caleb. If you wake up in the middle of the night to take a piss, hi, Kat. Look at, dude, that thing is fucking mad dogging you.
All the time.
It almost attacked your eyebrows. It thought it was a mouse.
It does sometimes.
When you wake up in the middle of the night, do you check the clock?
I used to, but then I realized it would like kind of disrupt my sleep. So then I just stopped looking at it.
Yeah, me too.
Like I now like everything's on do not disturb. My room is completely black.
Oh, I will only look at the clock if I see that it's light outside.
Oh, yeah.
If it's light out, if I woke up and it's light, but if it's dark, and sometimes but my wife checks the clock every time she gets up. And I don't know, I'm mad at her for that.
It used to like change.
Does that
my
make
mood.
me a control freak? What?
It used to like change my mood when I would see what time it was.
Yes.
Like if I knew I only had like 30 more minutes of sleep,
Yes.
then I would just be pissed. Be like, damn it, I have to wake up soon.
Yes.
But then now that I don't look at it, I have no concept of time in the middle of the night. I can just sleep and then wake up and then go back to sleep. And I will have thought that I had slept 2 hours and it could have been like 30 minutes.
That's exactly why. And I don't know why, but it upsets me. And sometimes she'll even say to me sometimes, did you see what time it is? And I just grunt at her. Oh, the Christian Kettler is a cat whisperer. He said your cat just said pet me, asshole.
Yeah. No, she's on my lap.
Yeah. Why do you care if she checks the clock? Because I don't want anyone to know what time it is. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know.
But if she's
what are you, my fucking therapist, Heidi?
If she's telling you what time it is, then it's like the whole reason I don't check the time is.
Well, she doesn't. She doesn't. I just hate it. Like I'll like if she gets up, it'll wake me up, and then if I see her like pick up her phone and look what time it is, I just get pissed.
I think that she'd be an old man.
Yeah, she doesn't even tell me. She doesn't tell me what time it is. Heidi, yes, I'm your therapist. Fine. Okay, weird. That was kind of a weird show today.
A little bit.
I just couldn't get on track with him. I didn't know what I wanted to talk about.
You guys have known each other for a while, though, it seems.
Yeah.
So many stories.
I didn't know that I affected him. So it sounded like he was tripped out by the 49er shit. And that's while watching my Instagram or texting with me, he realized that it's no big deal. And that kind of made him feel sane.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Is that what you got from his kind of what he was saying?
Yeah, absolutely. You changed his mentality a little bit.
I enjoyed the show, but it kind of dragged there for a bit, to be honest.
He told some cool stories. That car wreck story was crazy.
278 yards rolled down the hill. I wish he would have stretched that out into detail so it could have been like a good 15-minute story.
That reminds me of the story from the Panchik brothers.
Yeah. I should have asked him if he went to both the funerals of both the guys in the car. Yeah, the dude does have a great name. Max Mormont.
Maximilian. It's his full name.
Argentinian chicks are hot. Did you know that? Like really
I did
hot.
not.
Yeah, like crazy hot. All right. I was going over the calendar. Okay. Oh, I went over it. All right. Did you watch the fights this weekend?
No, I was watching College World Series.
Oh, that guy that we had on the show, that Armenian guy, fought Arman. Yeah, he was in the co-main event. It was fucking awesome. Oh shit, we have Alex Gazan coming on and Justin Collar.
Ooh, that'll be exciting. Together or separate?
Together.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit. There's a new CrossFit Games documentary coming out on June 30th.
Yeah.
And we have the director coming on the 29th, Mariah Moore.
Ooh.
Oh, and then we have the Fluffy Duck guy coming on the 30th. Wow, this calendar is really it's gotten quite extensive. What's his name?
Josh Pert, I think.
Yeah. We need to check to see how Gary Roberts is doing. Good question. How's Darian doing? I know I need to have Darian back on too. He's a great guest. All right. Well, enjoy your holiday.
Thanks. I'll celebrate it responsibly.
Yeah. You know.